Good morning, sunshines. It is Monday morning. What's this, the 14th, I think. And it's probably about 8:30. My boyfriend made me breakfast this morning, which is super nice. I had a sausage patty. I don't generally eat pork, but today I needed the extra protein. And I had a couple eggs, so it was a very proteiny breakfast, but that's what I needed. So, yes, I had breakfast. I am getting ready to set up my journal because it's Monday. And on Saturday, while I was at the apple orchard, I got a message from my friend Shayna. She is Shayna Lines Designs, asking if I would test knit a new size for her Rapazoid. It's kind of like a sweatery, vesty wrap thingy. And I saw it at the ZK. She was working on the prototype, and I loved it. And then she put up a call for test knitters, but I missed it. So I was like, okay, well, that's fine. It's garter stitch, and I was like, well, would I make it? I don't know. Maybe, probably. If I was a test knitter, I would. So then she messaged me because I told her that I liked it and that I would be interested in test knitting it. But she released the original pattern and it had 2 sizes. So now she's adding 3 additional sizes. And I am testing the smallest size with the intent that it be something for Mara. So with that in mind, her prototype was made using scraps of yarn, which is beautiful. I am, instead of going the scrappy route, the size I'm making calls for about 190 grams of yarn. So I don't know how much is left in these 2 skeins of yarn. I think this is a new one. This one's definitely been used. They're both Premier Serenity sock. This is the charcoal. This is the navy. And I'm also going to use this Manel Still Uruguay Allegria in the Manglar colorway. So I'm going to get swatching in just a minute. And if I use both of these, I do have a little bit of the gray of this left that I'm using. Whatever I don't use for the Fruit Loop sock is up for grabs. And if I use up all of that somehow, then I'll just use black Premier Serenity sock. Or maybe I'll go in my scrap bin and find a gray. I'll probably use the black though. Hopefully Mara will like it. I think it's bright and fun enough for her. And it's got a lot of purple, which is her favorite. So it turns out that I, like many people, am super bad at advocating for things for myself. Like when I feel that I'm not being treated well, I kind of just put up with it. But as soon as someone else is like, "Oh, yeah, I'm also not being treated well," then I'm willing to go to battle. So on Friday, a kid called me the B word in the middle of the lunchroom. And on Monday, there's no repercussions for this student who was blatantly disrespectful, not only to me, but to the adult in charge of the lunchroom at the time. So I talked to the principal about it because the other people, the other staff in the lunchroom were like, this is ridiculous. This isn't fair. This is why this particular chunk of lunch, there's 3 sessions, so this particular session of lunch is just awful all the time. One of the other lunch aides was like, I wonder if I can just not work during this lunch period. Like, I'll come in early and I'll stay late and just not work during this middle lunch period. So then I talked to the principal because it wasn't just me and it was other people being affected. Are you guys like that at all? Or are you good at standing up for yourself when you should stand up for yourself? I did not get through the leg. I have, about 10 rounds left to go, and then I will be to the heel. So I got close to my goal on that today. And I did wind the yarn and do the swatch for my my test knit for Shayna. The swatch is supposed to be 20 stitches for 4 inches, which I got, and then 38 rows for 4 inches, and I'm at 39 rows. So even though the rows is what determines how wide the garment is, I think that I'm close enough, especially because I'm making this for my daughter who is smaller than the pattern. So hopefully that'll be close enough. And it's garter stitch, so like if I push it out a little, the swatch is supposed to be unblocked before you do it. But you know, if I went like this a little bit, as you sometimes do when you're knitting, I could probably get it to be right on gauge without, you know, wetting and blocking it. I also read some steampunk tonight during family reading time. Okay, I am going to go to bed. Tomorrow I will rip out the swatch and start the test knit and hopefully get through the heel of the Fruit Loop. Oh, also I was posting the Nightingale socks in the That's Your Cue finished objects thread, and I reread the rules, and the knit along doesn't end until the 18th, not tomorrow. So I have a few more days than I thought I would, so I should definitely be able to finish the socks and the hat in that time.